Weighty conversations. You know, there are times, just because we're both in the same room doesn't automatically mean that it's time to talk or time to talk about the weightier matters, okay? Is that gonna be helpful for any of you? Okay, I think so, because that's just a strong area that a lot of times we have to just break down into bite-sized nuggets, that whole issue of communication. One of the times, and I've learned to grow in this. I am a basketball fan now, so I would never do that in this season. I do like basketball
Hallelujah.
now, but intermediately, some years ago, we used to have, and you have to be a recreational partner. That's a sidebar as well. So you have to like some of his likes and vice versa, right? Okay, so that's what I ended up learning to do. Except that in this one instance, years ago, we had season tickets to the Sixer games. We were living in southern New Jersey, and we would go to the Sixer games quite often. Some friends of our game, yes, at halftime. That, there were some transitions that went on. So I'm really, really good about my team and just, exuberant participation. And I'm, the rah-rah, I was a cheerleader and everything. And I don't even know, how was I a cheerleader and I didn't know this other piece? But anyway, the halftime goes on and they do what they do at halftime, and then they come back to play or whatever. Long story short, the guys are playing, they're running up and down the court, and the Sixers score. The Sixers score, but they shoot it in the other basket. And I'm like, what the heck are you doing down there? That's the wrong basket. And I'm screaming to the top of my lungs because they have made a transition that I'm not in cue with, and now they scored a basket for the other team. Well, the long story short, for those of you who may not have been in a position like I was, they changed baskets at halftime. And I don't know how I missed that all this time, but I made this huge big fuss about it. And so then everybody around us is joining into our conversation, and they're basically saying, bro, you need to update your wife on, kind of like what happens in settings like this, know?
Yeah, take her out more.
Yeah. And needless to say, I'm feeling like this, so I kind of sit down real quietly, and I'm not saying a whole bunch with the rest of the game. But I didn't realize that in our exchange, now that's kind of a round the circle, if you will, of communication. There were some things that just hadn't gone on in our discussion, or even in our viewing and watching the entertainment of basketball, that I just did not pick up. I felt like I was fully engaged. I'm a recreational partner. I'm in there. Man, high five, chest bump. Well, I'm not going to kick it. But, whatever, those kind of things, you just kind of... And it just didn't seem to work out. So, I got a lesson learned real quick on how well to make my transition. So you got to talk to me.
And you got to talk. And communication also has to do with understanding and figuring out each other's likes. And so one of the things that my wife shared, she became a recreational partner. She began to learn a little bit about basketball, and then I, at the same time, had to learn a little bit about HGTV.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw a couple of brothers put their heads down. I had to start sitting there and watching HGTV and QVC, you know me. And I had to start saying, oh, look at that, man. Oh, look at that. I watched The Property Brothers. That's my show. I won't even...